Alrighty, I'm going to create a quick video for you guys on how to use Cloud CMA because a couple agents didn't know how to do it. So we're going to go and search for properties. I'm not going to use Cloud CMA to do the automated search. I'm going to find the properties myself on Metrolist. So let's see, I'll bracket it around my home. So my home's about 2,000 square feet. So I'm going to say maybe 1,500 to 2,500 in Chicago Park. And let's see how many we got from that. That's actives. I'm going to select pendings, actives, and closed. Default, it goes back to 6 months. I might go back a year, but if we can do 6 months, that'd be great. I'm going to add acreage size. I have 1 acre, so I'm going to do 0.5 to 1.5. How you're going to bracket, that's going to be up to you and depending on the property and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to get into too many details on that part of it. I just want to show you how the program functions. Okay, so we got 9. 9's a good number. And I might go through these and be like, oh, that one's a garbage property. That doesn't count. Like this one here is, I wouldn't say that's Jamie's listing. I wouldn't say it's a garbage property, but it really doesn't fit in the same category as my property. My property is probably worth about 500,000. And I have a guest house, so I could actually search a little bit more for that, or I could make adjustments when we get into Cloud CMA. So I select the ones that I want to use. I click over here, CMA, top left corner. And now I want to click right here, click here, Cloud CMA. I'm not going to go here, I'm not going to do these things. Click here, Cloud CMA. I don't know what it's doing now. What happened? And then it's going to make me look dumb and not work. Let's try that again. Okay, this time it's working. So if you've never been into Cloud CMA, it's going to ask you to log in. And you get Cloud CMA for free through Metrolist. So I'm not sure what you have to do to set that up. You might need to talk to the board. So for client's name is Chris. Property address. I'll come to my house now. So you need to go with what's on the tax record. What's that? 5, 5. We have 2 different addresses on our property. And you see right here, this pulled all the MLS numbers. So we're not going to do this automated find your listing thing because that's going to be pretty generic and not what we're going for. We're going to pull the MLS numbers and put them in there. So if you ever wanted another feature here, if you ever want these MLS numbers to say, put them into a KV core to send out a bunch of listings to your client, you can do the same thing and then just copy and paste these MLS numbers separated by comma. Anyway, we're going to go fetch the listing. And I'm doing this as fast as I can because I know you guys' attention spans are short. So then we're going to go through each of these and make adjustments. So we're going to look at this one. I'm not going to go read this, but I'm going to guess it doesn't have a guest house on it. And we're going to add 50,000 for the guest house. So that's how much money I just spent on my guest house fixing it up. Oops. Now, if this property does not have a guest house, we're going to add a guest house to it. So we're going to do plus 50,000. Save. Now we're going to go down to this property here, or even on the same one. So this same property has a swimming pool. I don't know if it does, but say it does. We're going to do pool. And we're going to subtract the swimming pool because I, unfortunately, do not have a swimming pool. So we're going to subtract, say, It's a nice swimming pool. We're going to do 25,000. So we're going to do minus 25,000. And that's going to give your adjusted amount. So total adjustment and so forth. And you can go up here too, and you can put a suggested price. I'm going to do that depending on the client and depending on the circumstance. You click this little drop down, and this doesn't give you the adjusted properties. This just gives you, this is based on the sold price, active price, which is kind of silly in my opinion. They really should have another line here for the adjusted price. So that's why I don't really put a whole lot of weight into this unless I found 4 amazing comps and I don't have any adjustments to do. So oftentimes leave out the estimated price page on the next one. So we go customize report. And you could have everything on here. You could have your whole marketing stuff on here. I don't. I have my own marketing PDF and PowerPoint and all that stuff separate. So this is just going to be the CMA, no marketing. And so I've taken out most of it. This is just the basics for the marketing packet. And that's the template that I have saved. So once you select the ones you want to use, you can do a saved, you can save the template. Save template, save as template here. I think that's how you do it. But either way, there's a way to save it all. And these are what these look like. So you can look at the examples of it. So that's kind of just cover page and so forth. And there's actually one missing on here, I think, that I took out. So it'll just show you what you had on there last time. All right, yeah. So there's the what each listing is going to look like. And then I actually include, you go over here. Sorry, I'm moving a little fast. You can pause the video. I add the first dozen photos. So I'm not going to add all the photos because sometimes with 99 photos, you're going to be printing out 3 pages for each listing, and that times 9 can be a lot of pages. So I just have each listing is going to have the listing detail with with 1 photo on it, and then an additional page of photos, and then sold property analysis. So this is just a little bit of details about the sold properties. It shows your adjustments here and compared property statistics. And this one's going to show your adjusted as well. And I believe that is all I include. There are other ones to look at. Online valuation. Sometimes I used to always have that on there, but sometimes Zillow is correcting it so that that number doesn't really work as well. You can have your suggested list price. You can have your seller's net sheet on there. And then the average price. I might have this one on there. Yes, I'll probably add this one too. I don't know why that one got taken off there. So that's the gist of it. And then you go down here to publish report. And then you can email a copy of the PDF link, and you can email a copy of the a live link, so which is like a website. And you can email the report there. Let's view the live link. So when you view the live link, it has all of the stuff on there by default. So you need to edit it. No, sorry, you need to go over here and customize it. So it'll have all of these selected by default. So I don't want it to show everything. Like I don't want to show agent resume and what is a CMA and all that stuff, because I have that in my marketing PDF. But this is pretty cool. Sometimes I use this when I'm with the client and I have a computer screen to show them. So I can go through the comps like this, where you're just going through each one, and it shows that, the square footage is a little bit higher on this one, square footage is a little lower on this one, and so forth. and it's pretty good side-by-side comparison. It has the subject property here, and then the comparables over here. So hopefully that helps. And then you can see them on a map. So play around with it. I think it's a pretty good tool. It's a lot better than it used to be. When I first started, this program wasn't very good. It was good enough, but it's a lot better than it was. And then there's the PDF version. So even if you're going to go and you're like, I got my 2 monitors and I'm going to show them all the stuff, and then it's going to be all digital, bring a copy of the PDF version so that if the internet's not working or technology is failing you, or you can just leave it with them so they can read it later. This is what the PDF version looks like as a map and all these details. Each property, and it's going to show the adjustments made. So it shows, it'll show the adjustments made up here, I believe. And then if you go all the way down to the bottom, so this is the number that I'm usually looking at for my list price. So I have my adjustments I made. This is without the adjustments. This is with the adjustments on the sold properties. And that's usually the number that I'm going to suggest as the list price, or somewhere around there. So hopefully that helps.